I used to believe surprises were beautiful, little symbols of love wrapped in ribbons and hope. But on the night my husband gave me a gift, the kind he'd never given me before, I learned something brutal. Some gifts aren't meant to make you smile. They're meant to expose a truth someone hoped you'd never discover. And when I opened his gift, my hands started shaking because what I saw inside didn't just confuse me. It destroyed the version of my marriage I thought was real. Stay with me till the end, you need to hear this. I used to admire women who spoke about their marriages with joy in their eyes. You know the type, the ones who say things like, "My husband is my best friend," while smiling like life treated them kindly. I always envied them, quietly, secretly, in ways I never understood. Because for a long time, I believed I had the same thing. A loving husband. A peaceful home. A predictable life built on trust. His name is Daniel. We had been married for 7 years, and in those 7 years, Daniel had never been the romantic type. He wasn't the man who brought flowers or wrote long messages or left sticky notes on the fridge. But he was stable, responsible, consistent. And consistency, I thought, was better than any love letter. So when he walked into our living room one evening holding a beautifully wrapped box, tied with silver ribbon and a small card, I froze. This wasn't Daniel. This wasn't something he did. And the last time he surprised me was on our 3rd anniversary, with a dinner that came 2 hours late and a cake he forgot to pick up. But that night, something was different. He stood there, smiling too softly, too carefully, like he was waiting for a specific reaction from me. The kind of smile people wear when they've rehearsed something in their heads again and again. "Open it," he said. His voice was light, but there was something beneath it, a tremor I almost missed. I held the box gently and sat on the couch. Before opening it, I asked, "What's the occasion?" He hesitated. You know how hesitation can be louder than actual words? That's exactly what happened. "No occasion," he finally said. "Just felt like appreciating you." Appreciating me. Those words tasted unfamiliar coming from him. I pulled the ribbon loose and lifted the lid. Inside was a small velvet pouch. My heart fluttered. Jewelry? Maybe he was trying something new. Maybe therapy was working. Maybe he finally saw how lonely I had been. But when I opened the pouch, my breath caught in my throat. It wasn't jewelry. It was a key. A single, silver key attached to a round tag. Engraved on the tag were 2 letters. LB. My confusion must have shown on my face because Daniel immediately sat beside me. "It's a key to a small apartment," he said quickly. "A studio. Somewhere you can go to relax, write, rest, have time to yourself." Time to myself? My husband had never encouraged me to spend time alone. If anything, he often complained when I stayed late at work or met friends after hours. So why now? Why a separate place? And what did LB stand for? Where is this apartment? I asked carefully. He swallowed hard. Lakewood Boulevard. My eyes narrowed. That street name felt too familiar, too close to something buried in my memory. But before I could think deeper, Daniel added, "I've been planning this for months. You deserve somewhere peaceful." It sounded sweet, thoughtful, almost perfect. But it didn't feel perfect. It felt rehearsed. Like he had prepared this explanation for a very specific reason. That night, I barely slept. The next day, when Daniel left for work, I stared at the key for nearly an hour before grabbing my bag and driving to Lakewood Boulevard. The building was quiet, modern, neat, well-maintained. Not too fancy, but expensive enough to raise questions. The key fit the lock smoothly. When I stepped inside, a strange heaviness pressed against my chest. The apartment smelled like fresh linen and citrus cleaning spray. Too clean. Too prepared. Like someone expected a visitor. Like someone lived here. There were throw pillows on the couch. A blanket folded perfectly over the armrest. Coffee pods arranged neatly on the kitchen counter. Feminine touches, soft pink, warm gold, floral scents, everywhere. My stomach twisted. This wasn't a rest space for me. It was a home. Someone's home. And that someone wasn't me. My hands trembled as I opened the closet. Inside, hanging neatly, were clothes. Not mine. Not my size. Not my style. Dresses. Sweaters. Work blouses. And on the shelf above, a pair of heels I recognized from a wedding we attended months ago, heels worn by a woman named Betrayal, a woman Daniel had introduced as a coworker who helps him with office projects. Betrayal. LB, Lakewood Boulevard. I felt the ground shift beneath me. Everything aligned too perfectly. My husband didn't gift me an apartment. He gifted me his mistake, wrapped in ribbon and lies. I sat on the couch and cried. Quiet tears, heavy ones that felt older than my marriage itself. 7 years of trust cracking open inside my chest. But I wasn't done. I wiped my face, walked to the bathroom, and what I saw made my knees nearly collapse. A photo stuck to the mirror with tape. Daniel. And Betrayal. Laughing. Close. Comfortable. Intimate. Not in a scandalous way, but in a way that screamed connection, a connection he never shared with me. My heart shattered, but not because he loved someone else. No, it shattered because of what the note attached beneath the photo said. Small handwriting. Familiar handwriting. For our future. Our future. Not mine and his. Hers and his. My mind spiraled. My chest tightened. My world blurred around the edges. I left the apartment without touching anything else. When I got home, Daniel was already there, sitting at the dining table, hands clenched, eyes red as if he expected this moment. You went there. His voice broke. Who is she? I asked, my own voice empty. He closed his eyes. Then everything spilled out, not excuses, not denials, but confessions. He had been seeing Betrayal for almost a year. It started as friendship, grew into emotional dependence, then into something deeper he never named. I wasn't angry he cheated emotionally. I was angry he built a life outside our marriage. A secret life. A home. A future. And he gave me the key, because Betrayal was pregnant. Yes, pregnant. Not with certainty, but suspicion. He panicked. He planned to confess. He planned to leave. He planned to transition carefully without hurting me. But his plan collapsed the moment I opened the door to that apartment. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I didn't break down. I simply said, "You could have told me the truth before building a home with someone else." Daniel cried that night, real tears, real regret, real fear. But regret doesn't rebuild trust. Fear doesn't fix betrayal. He begged me to stay, to think, to work on us. But how do you work on something that the other person already replaced? I didn't leave immediately. I stayed 3 days, not for him, but to understand myself. And on the 3rd day, I handed him back the key. All gifts have meaning, I told him. This one taught me the truth. I deserve loyalty, not secondhand love. I packed my bags and left. I didn't know where I was going, but for the first time in years, I felt free, bruised, broken, yes, but free. Thank you for listening to my story. If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more emotional, dramatic true stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Your support helps me continue sharing stories that remind us we're not alone. Stay strong and stay true to your heart.